Alright, so, oh, I've got the wrong light on. Hang on. There we go. That thing's look a little better. Is my mic even on? That's another question. Yes, mic is on. Okay. Alright, chat, what's going on? I'm technically multi-streaming today, but I'd be very surprised if anyone pops in from Twitch chat when I'm streaming Duel Links. I think Duel Links is completely dead on Twitch, if I remember. I think I'm live on Twitch as well. I am, so I'm technically live on Twitch as well if anyone's watching on there. I'm gonna change it to I just open, okay. Can you speak louder? What? Turn up your goddamn volume. I thought we can speak louder. No. We just start shouting so you can hear me. Yeah, so we've got a ridiculous amount of stuff to go through today. Like, ridiculous. Like, just for a bit of an example, so you guys understand how much content we're getting in Duel Links. Look at this, by the way. This is how much content we're getting in Duel Links. This is the amount of channels I had to make in Discord. Look at that. Oh, shit. This is the amount of channels I had to make in Discord. All in one day, we're getting Altergeist, Live Twin, Blue Eye support, Hero support, Paleo, Maxx C, Maxx, Duel, Cyberse, and S-Force. All different stuff we can play. The Maxx is via a skill, so it's probably going to be stuffed into other decks that don't have a skill. So Maxx you can probably cross off this list potentially, but everything else on here is all actually decks they're going to potentially get videos on, although I'm probably going to ignore you, Bell, because bit of a meme. The Blue Eye stuff will be later today. Like, later this morning or whatever time. Different time zone for you guys, I don't know. It's coming. Probably like 6-ish hours from now, I think, or 5-ish hours. Forgot World Legacy. I don't think World Legacy was anything impactful. I haven't actually read this cards yet, but I think it was anything to care about. If it's like whatever, I don't know. I'll have a look. Anyway, so oh my god, the amount of tabs I have open. And close this one. Do I need this open? Let me just pop out the chat. Yeah. There you go. Alright. Where am I? So, where do we start? We've got... Do we go for the box last and we go through all the skills and stuff first? What do you reckon, chat? We've got card trader cards, we've got speed mission thingies, we've got obviously the campaign, we've got the actual box, we've got some leaks as well, and we've got the character. The hell is this? Oh god, has he made Dark Magician to farm it? Oh god. Box last, you reckon? Why is he... Be louder, please. Are you the same person that asked earlier? I'm going to time you out because you're being annoying. Alright. Okay, we'll do the box. We'll do the box last. We'll start with everything else first. Alright, so first of all, we'll go through the leaks, I reckon. Because we've gotten a bunch of new skills. Like, a absolute shit ton of new skills. Like, look at this. To go through. Half of them are going to be Altergeist skills, so let's check them out. Alright, first of all, we have a Rush skill. Now, this Rush skill was already leaked before, I believe. It's basically just on turn 4 and onward, if your life points are lower than your opponent, you can grab a Blue Eyes or something from your deck, and it just absolutely looks like hot garbage, but that's just a Rush skill. We don't care too much for this stream, because this is going to be a speed duel stream, so we'll skip on that one. Blue Eyes Dimension, and we are getting this tomorrow, hour from now-ish. It's like, I don't know, 6-ish hours from now or something, probably. During this duel, if you have at least 9 Blue Eyes cards, and this isn't specified yet, so we don't actually know if this is including extra deck. We're assuming it's not. So we're assuming this is main deck. During this duel, if you have at least 9 Blue Eyes monsters in your deck, at the beginning of the duel, you can normal summon set 1 Blue Eyes without tributing, and you cannot spell or summon a monster except light drain type monsters with levels and ritual monsters. In addition, the following effects can be used once per duel. Send 2 Blue Eyes monsters, 1 from your hand and 1 from your deck, to the graveyard to add 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon or 1 Monster Reborn from your deck to your hand, and place on polymerization from outside of your deck to the bottom of the deck. If you activate this skill on turn 2 or later, you can also place 1 Blue Eyes Chaos Maxx and 1 Chaos Form. So if you're wondering what this skill is going to be doing, the goal of this skill is going to... hey, I see the emotes in Twitch chat. Hey, buddy. I followed. Alright. So, we're getting Abyss. Wherever Abyss is. Abyss. This one. We're getting Abyss. So the idea of the skill is, you send a Blue Eyes card from your hand to the graveyard in combination with Abyss Dragon. Then Abyss Dragon has a nice little effect where when it's summoned to the field, it can search for a ritual spell, and then during the end phase, it searches for a ritual monster. So the goal is, you are going to be putting, on turn 2, you're going to be activating your skill, putting Chaos Maxx in your deck along with a Chaos Form. You're going to use your skill, send a Blue Eyes to the graveyard, send Abyss to the graveyard, search for your Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn brings back Abyss. Abyss searches for, your 2 cards, and then you can do loads of leaseling stuff. Lots of cool stuff there. So this skill will be quite fun. Unfortunately, you have to wait till the box comes out to actually play the skill properly, but this event should start within like 6 hours or something-ish from now. And the other exciting thing about this skill is we're getting multiple copies of that other Blue Eyes card via one of the events. Getting more copies of Alternative. Alright, next up. And Chaos Maxx search for viability, so you're probably going to be able to do this on turn 2 most games. Most of the time. And if you guys don't know what Chaos Maxx is, because if you haven't seen this card, I just realized all you guys probably haven't even read this card before because you play Duel Links, so... Chaos Maxx is a sick card. You can ritual summon this card with Chaos Form. Once you ritual summoned, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Very important in Duel Links because most things are targeted effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflicts piercing damage to your opponent and has 4,000 attack. So, this card's going to be pretty gross. I'm expecting this deck to be sort of a weak-ish version of the BLS deck we currently have. It's fairly similar. So it's probably going to be fairly similar to how that deck plays. So I wouldn't be surprised if this somehow just sneaks into the top tiers of like tier 3, just for being a going second Ooga Booga sort of a deck. Its turn 1 is pretty rubbish though. You missed the part that says double piercing? Oh, my bad. Either way, this thing just kills everyone, okay? Alright. Eternal Bond. The female version of Blue Eyes. Alright. During this duel, you can only special summon Neos, Yubel, and Elemental Hero monsters, and you can normal summon set Elemental Hero Neos and Yubel without tributing. This skill, by the way, spoiler alert, it's... I'm not too excited for it, let's just say that. Each time you normal summon or flip summon a Elemental Hero, Neos, or Yubel, you can use either of the following effects. Send 1 Yubel monster on the field to the, that was normal flip summoned this turn to the graveyard and set that monster's evolved form from outside of your deck. Okay, or add 1 Elemental Hero Neos or 1 Super Polymerization in your deck, or 1 Miracle Fusion from outside of your deck to your hand. Yeah, I mean, it's a... This is a skill of all time. I mean, the Super Poly Search is kind of cool, but we have a skill that does that already, right? For heroes, so, yeah, you probably won't be seeing a video on this skill from me, I imagine. It seems hot dog water. Alright, next up, we have your Fusion Clock Up. Now, this skill actually looks kind of fun, because we're getting a bunch of cards from the skill searches for them, and the actual box itself, I believe, wherever it is, this one, has a bunch of, new Cyberse Fusion-y stuff in here, so this skill looks kind of sick. Fusion Clock Up. Each of the following effects can be used once per duel. During the duel, you can use the skill. You cannot spell or summon monsters except Dragon type Fusion monsters and Cyberse type monsters. You can spell or summon Dark or Wind monsters from your graveyard. Okay. That's interesting. You can only spell or summon Dark or Wind monsters from your graveyard. If you control a Cyberse Clock Dragon in your extra deck, return one Cynet Fusion and one Cyberse type monster from your hand to the deck to add one Clock Wyvern and one Cynet Fusion to your hand. Alright, what's Clock Wyvern do? This card's normal spell summoned, you can halve this card's attack, and you do spell summon one clock token. Okay, and this thing allows you to fusion summon. Fusion summon Cyberse Fusion monsters from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. Join a monster in the extra monster zone, you can also banish up to one Cyberse Link monster from your graveyard. Okay. What's the requirements for this guy? Clock Wyvern plus a Link monster. This guy gives you a token? Okay. Yeah, this skill seems pretty sick. Change one normal monster in your main monster zone to Stack Reviver. This card is used as material for a Link summon. You can target one other level 4 or lower size monster in your graveyard that was used as material for that Link summon. Spell summon in defense position. Okay. Change the type and attribute of two monsters on your field to Dragon type and Dark attribute, then send one Decode Talker from outside of your deck to the graveyard. I'm not sure what that is used for. I assume it's some effect for Clock Dragon, maybe? I don't know what the I know what the reason for this last effect is. I don't know enough about this cards yet. I can use the Decode Talker in the graveyard. What's the point of the attribute swap though? When this card is fusion summoned, you can send cards to the top of your deck to the graveyard, blah blah blah. And if you do until the end of this turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. Also, this card gets 1,000 attack for each card sent. Okay. While you control a Link monster, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control with card effects. Okay. If this fusion summon card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can add one spell from your deck to your hand. Furious Dragon? Oh shit. Hey, why does that need different attributes though? Dragon time and Dark attribute? Can I summon Dark and win though? Oh, it's the fusion, is this thing. Oh, I see, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, this skill seems pretty fun. We'll definitely be giving this a shot. Alright, then we have a skill that I find quite funny considering we're getting a trap deck in the game. And also quite funny considering we're getting Effect Veiler in the game, which is a topic I'm thinking about making an entire video on, because Effect Veiler is a pretty big, it's a pretty big change to how Duel Links is currently functioned, so. Destiny Draw, Mystical Space Typhoon. Can be used before your normal draw if your life points are lower than your opponent's. One of the cards from your normal draw this turn will be Mystical Space Typhoon. This skill can be used regardless of your life points if there are 3 or more cards in your opponent's play trap card zone and field zone. This skill can be used once per duel. So essentially, if your opponent just sets up their board with a ton of back row, you can grab a Mystical Space Typhoon from your deck. So the thing I kind of want to briefly touch on with this is with Effect Veiler officially coming to the game, it's going to be kind of weird playing back row removal if Effect Veiler becomes super popular. Because obviously you can't Mystical Space Typhoon and Effect Veiler. It'll be in their hand. So it's hard to tell. I think at first glance, Effect Veiler I might be overreacting on how popular the card might be, just based on like current tier list things. Like Effect Veiler does nothing to like BLS. It doesn't really do a whole lot to like some of these decks in here. So maybe it won't be as impactful as I think it will be. But yeah, back row removal might not be that great if Effect Veiler becomes increasingly popular. So we'll see. All right. Either way, I don't think anyone's realistically going to be running this skill. I doubt it. Okay. Awakening of the Charmers. God, a Charmer skill. Reveal one Charm monster or one familiar possessed monster from your hand. Return one card from your hand to the deck and set one Awakening of the Possessed from outside your deck to the field. Which one was this again? Once you target 200 attack, Charmers cannot be destroyed by card effects. Blah blah blah. Draw one card. Okay. The skill can be used if you begin the duel with a deck external that has blah 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 in the deck. Okay, so this skill is not gonna stop Charmers being hot garbage, so we move on. Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing anything on Charmers. You can definitely count me out on that one. Alright. You can't blue eyes an effect veiler. To be fair, the effect veiler does stop you searching your chaos max shit, so yeah. Alright, the Legend of the Heroes. Each of the following effects can be used once per duel. Can be used if the total link rating of the monsters on your field is 3 or more. Increase your life points by 2,000. Can be used on turn 5 and onward. Return 4 link monsters from your graveyard to your extra deck, and add 1 Mech Knight Crusader Aramax from outside of your deck to your extra deck. Alright. So, interesting stuff about this skill. It looks kind of interesting at first, because it's giving you 2,000 life points, which a lot of decks already kind of do. Like, there's a lot of decks that if they have a link 3 on the field, they're gaining 2,000 life points. Like, there's a lot of decks that do this already as their skill. So it might sound weird, like turn 5 and onward sounds like unreachable, but the point is a lot of decks are already using skills to do this. So like a lot of decks might just be like, oh, this is just 3 effects. Might as well play 3 effects with a chance of having an Avramax. You know? So this skill actually might become relevant because it's literally just 3 effects, but now you can have an Avramax as well. And 3 effects just got nerfed, so a lot of decks are looking for 3 effects, so this might actually see some play. It is a good chance for it. It's a shame I don't think you can really do this in Trickstar because of the Link 3 or higher, and I think Trickstar's only summon a Link 2 on turn 1. He really made sure you weren't using this in Trickstar. The Link Recycle might be good too. Oh yeah, especially if you're reaching turn 5, the grind game, that'd be fantastic for it. It's a shame you can't really use this in Trickstar though. Not that the Trickstar could use Avramax anyway because of the locking from your spell, but yeah, I think this skill has a good chance to see play if there's a still decks trying to look for a 3 effects type skill. All right, what do we got? Ghost in cyberspace. So now we're on to the Altergeist skills. All right. Turn 5 Gek W. It's turn 5. That's not too much of a downside, like I said, because you're more looking for the first effect. Anyway, for a lot of decks. Alright, at the beginning of the duel, add 1 Altergeist Prime Banshee to your deck, to your extra deck. This thing is coming in the box, by the way. 2 Altergeist monsters. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute 1 other Altergeist monster. Special summon 1 Altergeist monster from your deck to your zone this card points to. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Altergeist card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Alright, so summon back some Altergeist cards, which is pretty good, because all the Altergeist cards have effects on summon. I'm pretty sure the one we already have in the game adds a trap card, right? Oh, this one already had a trap card on summon? Oh, it's only one normal summon for this card. Anyway, this deck does a lot of floaty things. It's been a long time since I've played Altergeist, to be fair. It summons from deck, right? So this can give you help you start looting Multifaker. You just switch on some Multifaker. Here's a Link 3 though. I think. It is. Alright, you can activate this effect once per turn. Select one of your Altergeist monsters and move it to another of your main monster zones. The skill can be applied if you begin the duel with a deck that meets the following requirements. All monsters in your deck are spellcast type monsters. You have no spell cards in your deck. Oh. Yeah, well, I don't think this is going to be the skill we use anyway, because there's a billion other Altergeist skills. So one of these is probably good, I imagine. Alright, Secret Cure. Can be used turn 4 and onward. Before your normal draw, instead of conducting your normal draw, excavate cards from the top of your deck, or from your deck, until you excavate monsters. Oh, it's a monster, okay. Add the first monster you excavate to your hand, and return the other cards to the deck. And this is from turn 4 and onward. And this is instead of conducting your normal draw. Then return one card. What? You're returning a card as well? And increase both your and your opponent's life points by the attack of the monster you have added. The skill can only be used if you draw the deck. Okay. Not a huge fan of turn 4 and onwards skills that are coming with requirements as well. And shuffling a card back into the deck. I guess Altergeist is probably going to be a slow-ish deck. Obvious skill, especially for free-to-play. True. You haven't got access to this, I guess, in the box. Made 2 backs. Yeah, I guess Altergeist is a slow deck, so maybe you'd use this. Maybe. Let's have a look at some of the other ones first, and we'll get back to it. Quick emulates if. Okay. Can be used on turn 2 and onward. During a turn, you have not activated a trap card. During this turn, you can set and activate Altergeist. Okay. What is this? Spell summon this card as an effect monster. If summoned this way whilst in the monster zone, other Altergeist traps you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can target them with card effects. Ooh. If you use this skill, you can only activate one trap card and spell summon one monster from your extra deck until the end of this turn. This skill can be used if you win the duel with a deck that contains no spell cards and an extra deck that contains no monsters other than Altergeist monsters. How good is this skill? So this can get you to like a Link 2 extremely easily. Or even higher if you already have a Link 2 on the field. Alright, so it doesn't seem that bad. Pretty sucky, so not great, not so great. No, this skill seems interesting. Think about it. Personal spoofing. Alright, can be used if you have an Altergeist Link monster in your main monster zone. Set one personal spoofing from outside of your deck. Okay. During this turn, the card set with the skill cannot be activated. Oh. And you cannot spell summon Link. Oh. That last part is an effect, I guess. Does he already have the Link monster in the main monster zone? Is this probably fine? Swings in the trader? Yeah, I've already grabbed mine. It's weird it can't be used on, Let's have a look at spoofing. Once per turn, you can shuffle one Altergeist card from your hand or face up from your field into the main deck. Add one Altergeist monster from your deck to your hand, so really good for getting Faker, right? I mean, that's not too bad, because you can use Faker during your opponent's turn. Just do it in your opponent's turn. This skill seems okay, right? In your main monster zone, so you can't have it in the extra. Does this mean the skill cannot be used? Does this refer to, like, after you've used the skill, or, like... Like, can you link summon, then use the skill, then it means you can't link summon afterwards? Or does it refer to you just can't link summon at all during that turn? The way it's worded, you need to summon the link before. That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if you can just do your link summon, and this skill is just trying to stop you from link summoning, like, after you've activated the skill, not as, like, not for the whole turn. It does refer to the whole turn? Alright, some skills are worded weirdly. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing doesn't refer to that. But it's a pretty strong skill if it doesn't work that way, so... I don't know. I'm meant to wait and see on this one, I guess. Alright, Altergeist preparations. Can be used before your normal draw each time your life points decrease by 1,000. If you have 3 or more Altergeist trap cards in your deck, one of the cards from your normal draw this turn will be a random Altergeist trap card from your deck. Okay, don't care. Altergeist trade. Can be used before your normal draw. Each time your life points decrease by 1,000, return one Altergeist continuous trap card on your field to the deck. One of the cards from your normal draw this turn will be a random Altergeist monster. I don't know about that one. I don't particularly like that one either, really. Altergeist Booster. During the turn, the attack of Altergeist monsters in your field is increased by 50 for each Altergeist trap card in your graveyard. Oh, God. Well, so far, reading all these skills, there wasn't any that was super impressive to me. Well, I'm curious to see if this is worded the way it's supposed to be. So if it's not, this skill will be insane, but it's probably works where you can't link summon at all during the turn, which would be pretty killer for the skill. Maybe. I don't know. What about you guys, chat? Did you see any skills here that looks pretty good for this deck? To me, nothing in here seems pretty good. It's the attack broken skill. Something like that. Pretty underwhelming. I'm sure the Altergeist cards themselves are probably strong enough where it doesn't really care too much about the skills anyway, to be fair. So, maybe we'll just play Avramax. Smile. This deck makes a Link 3, right? Maybe we just play Avramax. Anything particularly matters. I'm pretty sure we're getting like 90% of the Altergeist Archetype anyway, so we'll see how the deck goes without them. Alright, so that is all the skills we are getting. We are getting some nice little bingo missions here, which is coming, we believe, in like 5-ish hours from now or something, or 6-ish. It's coming pretty shortly. We're basically getting the skill for Blue Eyes. We're getting a OG art Blue Eyes in Prismatic, a new copy of this card, and wait, we're getting 3 skills on the get-go? We're getting the Blue Eyes skill. Are we getting the oh shit, it must be getting the Ubel one and the Avramax one now. Oh shit. Wait, if we get the Avramax one now, I could probably make a YouTube video after this stream. Just making the Avramax thing. Oh shit, that'd be kind of fun. Is that a raid? What the hell? A raid on Twitch? I haven't had one of those in God knows how long. Like 5 years now? 4 years? Whenever it last. Thanks for the raid, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, Avramax is on the 26th. Then what's this why is it showing 3 skills here? I thought this anniversary thing was happening in like a few hours from now. Howdy. Hey, you're doing pretty good.
Games on motorcycles.
Wait, 26 confirmed? Really? Alright, so it's for the raiders in here. We're just doing a box review right now. And if you don't know, I'm currently streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you're wondering why I might be seeming like I'm talking to myself, I think I've got the chat on screen, but sometimes a bit laggy. It's because I've got 2 chats going at once, so... Where's the rush skill? The rush duel skill and the... Oh god, it's not the rush skill, is it? Oh no. I don't want to make a video on this. No, I really don't. I'm so interested in speed duel right now. Alright, anyway, moving on. So we've gone through the leaks. Moving on, what's next? Next up, we have the event cards. So we've got 2 new cards from the event, which I think a lot of you guys have probably already read, because I already showcased them. Thank you all for the follows, by the way, guys. Alright, we've got Manifestation first. Now, Manifestation's actually... both of these rewards are actually pretty sick. So, Manifestation. Target 1 Altergeist monster in your graveyard, special summon it in attack position. If you do, equip with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. You banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Altergeist trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So, already, we're starting off good with, for drop rewards. A card that's basically a monster reborn. And yeah, it also gets a bit of value when it's in the graveyard too. But the real reward is this one, Altergeist Hextia. This takes 2 Altergeist monsters. Gains attack equal to the original attack of each Altergeist monster it points to. When a spell or trap card or effect is activated, you contribute 1 Altergeist monster this card points to, negate the activation, and destroy it. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Altergeist card from your deck to your hand. I can't see your Twitch. It's in the description if you want to go to it. Toadmaster, best card in the box. Is that one of the normals? Alright, yeah, the drop, these are pretty insane drop rewards. I won't spend too much time on them because I think most of you guys have probably seen them because these were like leaked or revealed not too long ago. But yeah, both these cards seem absolutely insane. We've already got a negate for the deck guaranteed and a monster reborn for free, so pretty sick. Alright, so in the card trader, we're getting spoofing, which we went through already. So we've gone through all these now. Alright, so lifetime missions and bundles. What are we getting? We're getting a bundle that includes a card that I'm very surprised we're getting in a bundle because I don't think anyone's going to play it. This is one of the weirdest bundles I've seen because basically this card includes the ultra rare card, Evil Twin, blah blah blah, card sleeves, and 17 packs. And what this card does is, if it's like a shit evenly matched, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by attributing 2 link monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect. If your opponent has 3 or more cards, they must send cards to the graveyard so they control 2 cards. You can use each effect, you can use the effects of Evil Turn blah blah once per turn. While you have a key skill monster in your graveyard and you have a Leela monster in your graveyard, this card gains 2,200 attack. So this thing is generally going to be like 4,400 most of the time. But it's also like, I don't really want to have a card that I summon that evenly matches my opponent so they have 2 cards left. They can keep it back row and their boss monster for this thing. Plus your opponent can just respond by activating some of their back row. This thing is, yeah. This thing takes 2 monsters off your own field most of the time. Unless you're lucky and your opponent's playing a bunch of links. Yeah, I don't like this card at all. I am probably going to not be playing it, I imagine. It's probably one of the worst bundle cards they've ever given. That might be a bit too harsh for a day one sort of a glance at it, but I don't think I'm going to be playing it. I'd be surprised if I put it in my day one build. I guess to be fair, a lot of the Live Twin deck currently doesn't have a boss monster, so maybe we lack having high attack stats, but I don't think we're going to be that desperate with playing this. We can just make a Link 4 and just go off that, I imagine. Just any old Link 4 later on. It's definitely worse than Draco, yeah. I'm not surprised we're not getting Trouble Sunny, okay? We don't need that. I think the deck will be okay without it for now. Yeah, only reason you do run is because of Sunny, yeah. So I think this card is probably... I'm very surprised they gave it to us in a bundle. Alright, and then we're getting the limited box bundle thing where we're getting some packs, and skill chips are back. Now, by the way, for you guys that don't know, the skill chips have moved forward 2 extra boxes. So, does anyone chat know which extra boxes they've got so I can bring them up on stream real quick? Does anyone actually know what the 2 new boxes are? From the... So they brought forward 2 extra boxes, so we can go through if there's any more relevant cards. So I actually have no... I'll be surprised if anyone chat just knows this off by heart, but... It's in the needle box, is it? Alright, we'll see where needle comes from. Needle ceiling. So it's Valiant Souls and the box. Treacherous Trap Holes in? Is it? I think Treacherous Trap Holes an SR though, so. So what box are you from? Visions of Ice? So it's these 2? Alright, so what do we... Oh, it's the Paleo box! Oh, this is sick, because we're getting new Paleo support. We're getting, spoiler alert for when the box review comes up, but we're getting Dinomischus. So that's actually sick. They brought box chips around for that. That is so sick. Perfect, actually perfect timing for Paleo. Alright, Needle Ceiling's obviously a cracked card as well. Anything else particularly relevant in here? Dealings, for anyone who likes FDKing people. I think that's it, really. I can't remember, was box chips only for ultra rares? No, it's gotta be for everything, right? I don't even remember. Either way, it's only the ultra rares that matter in here. That's actually, okay, so first lot of box chips are sick, actually. Alright, Visions of Ice. Was anything good in here? Spellbook? Okay, I mean, some Spellbook cards if you guys want them. But yeah, I think I'm definitely more hyped for this. This is sick. These 2 are really, like... That's hella good for new players that are coming back into the game with games and box chips. Needs totally awesome, true. Alright, okay, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so we've gone through all those. What we got left? We've got the 100th Legendary Duelist campaign, which is giving us a Blue Eyes White Dragon, Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, a game mat, a special Blue Eyes White Dragon related skill, bonus stamp to gain 3 character unlock tickets, 3 skill tickets, a Dream Ultra Rare ticket, and Blue Eyes blah blah blah. Special mission bingo giving an Ultra Rare pack, 500 gems, and a Blue Eyes alternative. Are we getting one from here, and one from here? Am I going to have 4 copies of this card now? Is that what this thing's telling me? Am I going to have 4 copies of Blue Eyes Alternative? Do I need 4 copies of it? I've already got one. So, we already have one, right? I'm not going insane. Oh, you already have one. Okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, yeah, it looks like we're getting the OG art, by the way, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if we have the OG art in the game yet. We've already gone through both these skills already, so there's the skills. Okay, so we're probably getting these. These are probably the 2 skills we're getting on day 1. Confused why there's a thing here. Why are we getting 2 skills and a third? What's the third skill? Which one is it? Oh, whatever. All right, let's just do the box view now. What you're all actually here for? The real question is, what is the Ultra Rare Dream Pack? We had one for Master Duel, didn't we? I think. Did we have anyone for Master Duel chat? I thought we did. And it just gave us gave us a guaranteed thing or something. I swear we've already had oh, we had for Rush Duel. Yeah, we had for Rush Duel. That's where it was in. And it just gave us a guaranteed Ultra Rare, right? So that's all it's gonna be, which is pretty sick to be fair. I like getting free Ultra Rares, so we take those. It's certainly more than we normally get, so it's a slightly more free to play version of or addition to the game. Alright, so let's get into this pack opening. Alright, so make sure this hasn't been refreshed with any added stuff. Don't think so. Alright. Starting off, we have Maxx C Duo. So I'm pretty familiar with most art types in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, sort of, because I've sort of played a lot of Master Duel now. But Maxx C is one of them I don't think I've ever encountered ever. So I have absolutely no clue what to expect from this archetype. I assume it wasn't that great in actual Yu-Gi-Oh! IRL, because I don't know any of the cards in here, so let's have a look. Starting off, Maxx C Duo. You can target one normal monster or Maxx C monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Then you can apply one of the following effects. Fusion summon one Maxx C Fusion monster from your extra deck in defense position, using monster from your hand or field as fusion material. Ritual summon Maxx C monster from your hand in defense position by tributing monsters from your hand or field. Okay. Okay, not the worst trap card I've ever seen, but I don't really know what this deck does yet, so it's hard to see if this is actually like Maxx C's fun, is it? From first glance, reading a trap card like this, it doesn't seem that bad, because trap cards that let you ritual summon or fusion summon whatever during your opponent's turn are actually playable because they can act as disruption. But I don't really know what the Maxx C art type does yet, so I don't know if this card's something we care about. I shouldn't won't care about it too much because it's a normal rarity, and Konami doesn't normally care about the normal rarities, but it doesn't seem too bad so far. I have to wait to actually get a hold of the art type first. Maxx C's a meme deck full of nobles and bricks? Oh. It's like brown and red, yeah, very similar. And the fact that it gives you back resources too for the fusion summon's pretty sick, so we might see this, especially if this thing's searchable. It does have Maxx C in the name, so it's probably a searchable card. Alright, Chewbone. Flip. Oh god, it says flip. Oh, do we already move on? Oh, do we already skip it? Spin or summon 3 Chewbone Junior tokens to your opponent's field. Oh my god, we're zone locking, boys. We're zone locking when we can just we can just play Link monsters, smile. To be fair, this card would be pretty goddamn funny if Link monsters weren't in the game. Because there are some decks that actually card out three tokens in your opponent's zone. This is actually a full 3 lock. What link can use 3 tokens? Most links, right? Can we just play... Isn't Night... I guess Nightmare needs another link 1 to go with it. Yeah, it needs another link 1 to go with it. Wait a minute, what link can we actually use? Oh god. Is this new support for don't we have Prediction Princess in the game? Don't we have this in the game? Prediction Princess support? This is so funny though. This card's pretty funny. I don't think we need to be scared of this card, I'll be honest, but maybe some meme deck comes out where people start being absolute douchebags with this on the ladder. But I don't think we'll have to worry about it too much. Alright. Clock Lizard. Okay. 2 Cyberse monsters. You contribute this card, return 1 fusion monster from your graveyard to the extra deck, then fusion summon that fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing the fusion monsters listed on it from your graveyard. Right, so it's like a recursion thing. Thank you for the follow, by the way. If this card is banished from your graveyard, you can special summon monsters from your opponent. What am I saying? If this card is banished from your graveyard, you can make special summon monsters your opponent currently controls, lose 400 attack for each Cyberse monster currently in your graveyard. Okay. This might be a one-of in that one particular clock deck with the new skill as like a second way to fusion summon. Once you've already done maybe your fusion summon and your board got wiped or something. It's more of a follow-up card though, so I don't think we care too much about it just yet. I want to see what we're actually summoning first. That's what I'm interested in. Not what our follow-up cards are. Alright, column switch. Target one monster in your main monster zone. Move that target to another of your main monster zones. Do we have skills that do this? Do we care about this? Probably not. We're out of the mech knight meta, okay? I don't think we care too much about this. Chiromancer of the Ice Barrier. There's more Ice Barrier cards we don't have? How many? I swear they've been releasing Ice Barrier cards for centuries. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, level 4 or higher monsters cannot declare an attack. That's it? Okay, moving on. Wasn't it like, when was the first Ice Barrier card added to Duel Links? Like 2016? My god. Alright. Evil Twin GG Easy. Alright, you contribute 1 key skill monster or 1 leader monster, then activate one of the following effects. You can target one key skill monster or 1 leader monster you control. It gains attack equal to the original attack of the attributed monster. When a card or effect is activated or destroy a card on the field, you can negate the effect. Alright, so this is that one card we don't use. The name for this card is fantastic, but yeah, we're not using this card. To be fair, we don't have... The stat lines are currently pretty low in this deck, but I think you just prefer to have some back row that stops your opponent hitting your monster, rather than having something that needs to tribute something to buff something. To be fair, you are tributing in a deck that likes to revive stuff from graveyard, but... yeah, I think I'd prefer to have like a Blister Squad, for example, to do the tribute. It's actually just the BM card. They should put the Pepe emote in there somewhere, true. There's more Ice Barrier cards being released IRL? Why? I don't care, moving on. Oh my, is that Maxx C? Oh god. the fucking PTSD from just seeing this card's name. The word C being written in there. When your opponent normal special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field and defense position. The controller of this card cannot exceed summon. Alright, so only time this will see play is potentially in our tournament setting, inside deck setting. So for the average player, you'll never see this card. I'll be very surprised if you see this card. So the XC's festival flashbacks? Why the hell was this legal in that festival? Why? What? How do they miss it? Okay, moving on. Good morning from New York. Good morning, buddy. Evening from Australia, I guess. Alright, Infected Male. Once per turn, you can target one level 4 or lower monster you control. It can attack your opponent directly this turn. Send it to the graveyard at the end of the battle phase. Moving on. Okay. Live Twin Channel. This is a field spell. I don't remember the field spell being used in the TCG, so let me read what it does, because I don't quite remember. When a monster declares an attack, you contribute one key skill monster or leave the monster, negate the attack. During the end phase, you can target one key skill monster or leave the monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, or if you control no monsters, you can add it to your hand instead. Right, I think I remember why it wasn't used now. Yeah, I don't think we particularly need this card. It's good recursion in Duel Links, but I think we're probably better off just playing some extra back or something over this. Oh, I did miss the Floodgate card. Sorry, I'll go back to this one in a second. Yeah, wait, this Archetype is a field spell? That's my thoughts exactly. Yeah, so I'll get back to this card in a second. Yeah, I don't think we care too much about this. It is a card that exists. Yeah. Alright, let's see what limit B does. Level limit area B. Change all face-up level 4 high monsters on to defense position. Okay. Wow. And then your opponent does a link summon. Okay. Maybe this would have been a problem like 5 years ago. I don't think we care about it now. Okay. Magicki Mafti. Fusion summon one Magicki fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, or ritual summon Magicki ritual monster from your hand by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed its level. If you can try a Gnaw monster, you can also send my Gnaw monster from your deck to the graveyard as tribute. Okay. So it's just a fusion or ritual spell. That's all it is? Nothing particularly extra about it? Unless you have a Gnaw monster on the field? Branded fusion at home? I mean, the deck needs a fusion spell. Maybe this is their fusion spell. I don't know if there's any other ones in here. Again, like I said earlier, I have no clue what this archetype does yet. I've never encountered it in Master Duel, so zero clue what this deck's meant to do. But I assume we're probably going to use this at some point if we just want to do some fusion summoning, if there's no other fusion or ritual spells in here. Maybe you do this first, and someone says, does this come with a trap? So maybe use this first, then the next turn you can use the trap to do another summon, using this card you used from resources for this one. Maybe? Oh, that's what the field spell adds? Okay, so you're probably going to use this. Cool. It's not searched by fusion or ritual searches. Oh yeah, it's not actually a fusion spell or a ritual spell. Oh, it's actually a ritual spell, I should say. Or have fusion in the name. You skipped a card? No, we went through this already. That guy's lagging behind a little bit. That's part of a combo, okay. Alright, so our first of our actual Magicki monsters. Let's see, how good is this card? The Betos Buster. The Jeff Bezos Buster? Is that what this is? Holy shit. You can ritual summon this card with Magicki Mafti. Okay. You can add, if this card is ritual summoned, you can add one Magicki card from your deck to your hand. Okay, we like searches. You can only use the effect once per turn. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster that has the same attribute as a normal monster or magic card in your graveyard, you place any number of cards from your hand on your... Okay, to the bottom of the deck, and if you do, negate the effects of that monster until the end of this turn. Then draw the same number of cards placed under the deck. What the hell is all that? Okay, I like a search. But I don't really know what we're doing with this thing yet. So I think we just summon this thing, it does a search. Is that what we're doing? This thing can search the trap card. That's kind of cool, I guess. It's a tuner? Oh my god, it is too. Wait, I thought is this deck a ritual, fusion, and synchro deck? Is this a ritual, synchro, and fusion deck all in one? Bro, Duel Links only has like 7 extra deck slots. How do we do this? How do we fit them all in? Wait, is that Exceed? Oh my god, it's oh my god. How many summoning mechanics do you need? Jeez. Oh my god, okay. This will be an interesting archetype to try to get my head around. This way it works for Magista stuff, that would make sense. Variety. We've got 7 slots. How do you fit all this in? Okay, well, I guess we'll give this a go at some point. Alright, moving on. Alright, we've got their fusion monster now. 1 magic key monster plus 1 normal monster except a token. Okay. If this card is fusion summon, you can add 1 magic key math T from your graveyard to your hand. So that's this card. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. Once per turn, you can target 1 attack position monster your opponent controls the same attribute as a normal monster or magic key monster in your graveyard. Change its defense position. If you do, it loses 1,000 defense. Banish any monster destroy battle with this card. Okay, not the most exciting monster. It's also pretty easy to summon, so you might want... This seems like a 1-of at most. Maybe just to recover the fusion spell? Magic key Link summoning? Oh, we have 8 slots, sorry. I'm too much of a Duel Links boomer. Oh, so all that matters is the fact that it's a tune. Is that all you... I mean, they're all tuned. I'm moving on. Moving on, okay. We'll wait till we see the big magic-y stuff before we rate these cards too highly. Miracle Lotus. What is this? Target 1 face-up attachment monster you control. Your opponent draws 1 card. Also, that monster gains 1,000 attack at the end of this turn. If it does, it can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. If it attacks or is attacked this turn, your opponent takes no battle damage from that attack. Okay, that sounds really cool. Moving on. Mischief of Yokai. Each face-up monster on the field loses 2 levels until the end phase. You can move and play this card from your graveyard to select 1 face-up monster and reduce its level by 1 until the end phase. This effect cannot be activated the turn this card sent to the graveyard. So funnily enough, there would probably be a period of time people might have chosen to use this, because there was a good period where people were using a trap card that reduced levels to stop people Exceed summoning. So there might have been a period in time where someone used this. But I don't think we'd use this anymore. It's too specific. It'd have to be like a tier 0 meta to want to play this card, because you need to use it against very, very specific matchups. That's the card name, actually. You're right. Wasn't this card a, I thought this thing was continuous, though, right? Which is why it was better. Wait, is it not pronounced that way? Is it Surge? Scourge? Scourge? Like that? God damn it. Oh, it's Sty... This one? Yeah, this one was continuous, so... People were playing this card at one point. But yeah, I think we're a bit past playing those cards unless we end up in a tier 0 format, and that one's continuous, which is better than this anyway, so... Maybe a side deck card if someone really wants to play it. Alright. Ugh, Pendulum. Ugh. Pandora's Jewelry Box. While you have no cards in your extra deck, you can target one card in your opponent's Pendulum Zone, destroy it. If you do, place this card in your opponent's Pendulum Zone. What? What? While you have no cards in your extra deck, draw 2 cards instead of 1 for your normal draw. What? What? Okay. What? Okay, this is a card of all time, I guess. Any old cards? I don't really know what cards count as OG at this point. This card's probably goddamn ancient, I guess. I don't know what to say about this card. Another good stall strategy though for stall decks that like to play 52 trap cards and have something that gives them an extra draw, I guess. It's basically Pot of Greed. Oh my god. Alright. It does mess up their pendulum scales, that's true, I guess. Alright, let's have a look. Parallel Port Armor. Target one link monster you control, equip it with this card. Your opponent cannot target the equipped monster with card effects, also cannot be destroyed by battle. You banish this card and 2 link monsters from your graveyard, then target 1 link monster you control. You can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Yeah, probably not going to use this. It's a effect that isn't honestly the worst, but it's also not that great either. Yeah, it's not that great. If this is a spell card, it'd be a lot more playable, but it's not. It's just not. Damn, I really need to enable some emotes on Twitch. I haven't got Cat Jam enabled either. Kek W is not enabled. Cat Jam's not enabled. God, I really need to add some, probably add some emotes to Twitch. What's the new event in Duel Links? It's Altergeist. We're getting a lot of new stuff in Duel Links. A lot of new stuff, like a billion different decks. So when we're getting the alternate Blue Eyes, that will be later on tonight, I believe. Alright, S-Force Dog Tag. So I saw some people in my Discord spamming this in caps lock for some reason, so I assume it does something. I hope they weren't just memeing. S-Force Dog Tag. During your main phase, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters in the same column as one of your S-Force monsters. Oh, it's a Floodgate. I love Floodgates. Wow. If your opponent normal spell summons a monster while you control an S-Force monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand. Wow. I love Floodgates. Do you guys love Floodgates? Wow, I'm a big fan of Floodgates. Great. I'm so looking forward to making an S-Force video so I can Floodgate my opponent. Can we realistically get three S-Force cards on the field turn 1? Is that a realistic thing that could happen? I don't play S-Force, so I don't know. It's during your main phase, so it's not that bad, I guess. Thank God it's during your main phase. Thank God. Yeah, easily? Okay. No, it's not that bad. I'm not too concerned as long as it's during your main phase, you know? Will this make S-Force a top tier deck? I don't think so, but you never know. Who needs to use effects in their monster zones anyway? We've got fucking Effect Veiler now, so we're good to go. Alright, moving on. Alright. Scrounging Goblin? Okay, if this card inflicts battle damage... I don't want to see a single Goblin in these nuts in the chat, by the way. Not a single one, alright? Not a single one, okay? If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, they can hand you 1 card from their hand to negate this effect. What? Otherwise, you add 1 Goblin card from your deck to your hand. Goblin these nuts. Shut up. What am I reading? What is this thing? They can hand you 1 card. Okay. They can hand these nuts. How about that? Alright, moving on. Oh no, it's another C. Oh no. Oh please, don't be another Maxx C. During either player's turn, when exactly 1 synchro monster is spell summoned to your opponent's side of the field, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target that face-up synchro monster to destroy that target. Thank God, this one is hot garbage. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Alright, I think my picture's probably blocking this card, so let me just do that. Yeah, you guys will live. Tattooey Dragon. 2 monsters, spell summon from the extra deck. This card gains effects based on the card types used for its link summon. Okay. Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz. Great, so it's a magic card. Fusion. Your opponent cannot activate monster effects during the battle phase. Don't particularly care. Synchro. Your opponent can activate spell and trap cards and effects during your main phase. That's a little bit more relevant, I think. Xyz. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of cards in the graveyard during your main phase or battle phase. Okay, so not that relevant. And it's a Link 3, so I think we're good on this one. Okay, now for the most hyped card in this box. This was the thing I saw the most hype about. I saw this name spammed so many times in my chats and in my Discord. So this thing must be the absolute best card in the box. Alright, we'll zoom in for this, man. The Toad Master. Holy, look at those tadpoles behind him. At least I really hope they're tadpoles. Alright. A hermit frog that has been in existence for thousands of years. It attacks with tadpoles. Oh my god. Toad Master, but no, stop. 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 It's tadpoles behind him, guys. They're tadpoles. Get this dirty stuff out of your mind, alright? They are tadpoles. Alright, 1,000 attack, 1,000 defense. Yeah, this guy should 100% have been a Pepe emote. Holy, that'd have been great. Imagine that was just a Pepe for his face. That'd been great.
Card games on motorcycles!
It's 100% semen. Shut up. Thank you for the follows, by the way. This guy's older than my grandpa. Damn, it's still working? That's pretty impressive to be working at that age. Alright, moving on. World Legacy Bestowal. Okay, so this is World Legacy support that people were trying to get me to make a World Legacy channel on my Discord for. Send 1 link monster your opponent controls to the graveyard. Banish 7 World Legacy cards from your graveyard. Add 1 Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. Okay. This is a card. Moving on. World Legacy Cliffhanger. When attack is declared involving 2 link monsters, shuffle all monsters in the field and in the graveyards into the deck. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, neither player can link summon. Involving 2 link monsters, huh? Damn, that's a crazy card. Alright, moving on. World Legacy Collapse. Okay, this one better be better than the previous two. Okay. You can banish 1 World Legacy monster from your hand, graveyard, or face-up field, then target 1 link monster on the field. It gains attack equal to the original attack of the banished monster. If a link monster you control is destroy battle or an opponent's card effect, whilst this card's in the graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon 1 Cyberse link monster from your graveyard. Alright, so I've come to the conclusion these World Legacy cards are cards of all time. We're gonna they don't get better, are they all like this? Oh. Yeah, I think this is why I'm not gonna make a World Legacy channel in my Discord. Moving on. Magic Key Lockpicking. Oh, yeah, locking, sorry, not lockpicking. What am I saying? Indeed cards. So tier 0, yeah, true. Actually tier 0 cards. The hell is that emote? Look at, I don't know what I'm looking at there. Anyway. Tribute 1 Gnaw monster or 1 Magic Key monster, except a token. The target up to 2 Gnaw monsters and or Magic Key monsters in your graveyard whose total levels equal 8 or less. Special summon those monsters in defense position. Then you can apply one of the following effects immediately. Synchro Summon or Xyz Summon. Okay. So again, I don't really know how the Magic Key deck works yet. This is kind of similar to how this card works, where it lets you do like a Fusion Summon or a Ritual. This one lets you do the Synchro or the Xyz during the opponent's turn. So if there's certain Magic Key effects that activate on Special Summon, maybe you have to play these so you can use their effects during your opponent's turn. I don't know yet. I haven't gone through the actual boss monsters for this archetype. These cards might be used. I have absolutely zero clue yet. But generally having cards that let you use summoning mechanics on opponents' turns are fairly good. IP Masquerade are obviously a very good example of that, so maybe these cards will see play out and how the archetype works yet, so. Alright, Magic Key Spirit. So our first of the Magic Key Xyz monsters, if there is any other ones. 2 level 4 monsters. If this card's Xyz summoned, you can attach one material from this card, add 1 level 4 or higher Gnaw monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If this card has a Gnaw monster as material, it gains this effect. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster with the same attribute as a Gnaw monster or Magic Key monster in your graveyard, you can attach 1 material from this card. Your opponent must send that monster to the graveyard. Okay. So the only time I've ever used this card, I think, was in Suship. I think I played this in Master Duel, actually. So a thing that lets you search for Gnaw monsters. I assume that's relevant because Magic Key seems to like them. The second effect's pretty good too, being able to remove your opponent's monsters. If there's not much good removal in this deck, I have no idea yet. Yeah, non-target send's pretty good. So this is a good way to out a lot of stuff, especially like non-targeting stuff. Stuff that's immune to destruction, stuff that can't be targeted. Very it's a good removal for that. Not sure how relevant the search for a high-level Nor monster is, because I don't really know how the Archetype works yet, but I assume it's good. Dark Magician support. Search for all 4 limbs of Exodia. Holy shit, you've got the plays. Alright, moving on. What is this? Submarine? Is this... Oh my god, it's Tour Guide. Is this Tour Guide from the Underworld? Is this what they were talking about? The first normal monster you control that will be destroyed battle or card effects each turn is not destroyed. Oh my god, it's Blue Eyes support. If you control a normal monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand. Oh my god. That's insane. And to be fair, if you're playing some random level rank 6 deck or something that uses level 6 normal monsters, that's kind of cool. But I think we're probably good on this one. I think we probably pass on it. It's a dinosaur? I mean, there's dinosaurs in the submarine. Hang on. Zooming. Give us a close-up of this. Hang on. Look at those little dinosaurs in the submarine. Isn't that cute? Damn. I'm not sure why the giant fish is a submarine, though, but I see what little dinosaurs in there are. That's kind of cute. The erratic extender? There it is right there. Damn. Chat, you guys have all the combos. How do you know all these? Target for Misk. Raging Pendulum support? Oh god. Alright. The Grade Double Casted Caster. Okay. 2 non-effect monsters. Gains attack equal to the combined original attack of any Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Elixirs, or Link monsters used as fusion material for this card. But it has to use non-effect monsters. Okay. This card can attack directly, okay? If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one of your non-effect monsters that is banished or in the graveyard, special summon it. Okay. I mean, it is in fact a Super Poly target, I guess. I really think it's one of the worst Super Poly targets you could use, but it is a card. So slap it in 10U. Slap it in 10U, toss in a polymerization, call it a day. Super Poly in 10U. BLS support. Oh god. Hang on. Just need to pick my nose real quick, chat. Hang on. Ugh. Don't mind me. Just a little bit of nose picking going on. Ow. Alright, we're good now. We're good now. Alright. Alright, yeah, so I don't really know where we're gonna use this card, but I guess it is a card. The fact it can attack directly is kinda cool. Might lead to some funny lethals, I guess, but did you lick it? Okay, we're moving on. So these are all reprints. Reprint. Alright. Clock Spartoy. Okay. If this card is link summoned, you can add 1 Cynet Fusion from your deck to your hand. Okay. If a monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, except in damage step, you can target 1 level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard, special summon it but negate its effects. Okay, that seems pretty good too. Also, you cannot special summon monster next deck versus turn except fusion monsters. Okay, I mean this card seems pretty good. I don't know what the combo is with the deck yet, but something that allows you to not only search for the fusion spell, but also potentially give you resources for that fusion spell sounds pretty good. So technically you can make a 4K attack directly? I mean, I guess. I just ran into a pendulum combo? That's unfortunate. Yeah, so you're probably going to use this along with a new skill. I'm very curious as to how good the, I haven't really read this card yet, so I've read this earlier, but I haven't really gone through it too much, so I'm kind of curious how good this deck will be. This Fusion, Cyberse stuff, so... Sounds interesting, anyway. Alright, so here's the Fusion spell it's searching for. Cynet Fusion. Fusion summon Cyberse Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. If you control no monsters in the extra monster zone, you can also banish up to one Cyberse Link monster from your graveyard as fusion material. That's pretty decent as far as fusion spells go. That's pretty decent. You can do up to one Link summon, send a Cyberse monster to the graveyard, and use that card as material. I guess to be fair, you'd have to have the extra monster zone empty first. Actually, that might actually be fairly difficult. The skill just puts decode in the graveyard. Okay. Yeah, this card seems pretty good. I'm very curious as to how this archetype's gonna run. Alright, so here's a Cyberse Fusion monster. Diplex Chimera. 2 Cyberse monsters. Once per turn, you contribute 1 Cyberse monster. Spell, trap cards, and their effects cannot be activated during the battle phase this turn. Okay. If this Fusion Summon card is sent to your graveyard, you can target one Cynet Fusion, one Cyberse monster in your graveyard, accept this card, add them to your hand. Yeah, not the greatest of effects. Unless you're planning to send this thing to the graveyard at some point for your own summon to try to get resources back. I don't see it being that great. It's mostly for its recycle effect seems okay. I don't really like the main effect though. This one's a good super poly target, I guess. That is true. If Cyberse was actually super popular in Duel Links. Ancient Gears at home. Ancient Gears requires a tribute. That's depressing. Yeah, not super keen on that one. Alright, Evil Twin Present. If you control a key skill monster and control a Leela monster, activate one of these effects. Target one key skill monster or Leela monster you control, and one face-up monster your opponent controls. Switch control of those monsters. Aha. Target one set spawn trap card, shuffle into the deck. This is probably a no. I don't think I like this card very much. I think I'd prefer to have like a standard trap card in the game than this one. I don't remember Live Twin having any particular searches for searching trap cards, so I don't think this is even part of any combo. That's right. That is right, chat. Right? There's no like searchers. There's no searcher and searcher right for this stuff. Oh, because on the spell card search for monsters, or the spell card allow you to search for these too. Taking their boss is nasty. No, I don't think I want this card. The spells do. Let me have a look actually. The secret password search for it? Oh, it does. It might be a one-off then because it's searchable, but other than that, because I don't remember this archetype even having any good back row in general. So I guess you play it as a one-off just because it's searchable, but it's really sus. It's pretty sus. It's mind control? I mean, it's mind control, but you're giving them a monster. It's not sus, you're sus. Like, compare this to, like, enemy controller, right? Is enemy controller just better for this archetype? Because you tribute the monster, you steal theirs, then you can revive the thing with your own Link monster. Rather than just giving them a card for no reason. Yeah, I'm not super keen on this card. It's permasteel. If you run it, it'll only be at 1, just because it's searchable. That's like the only reason you'd play it. I wouldn't play more than one of those ever. No chance. I think it's decent. Maybe. Maybe. I do like the idea of 1, because if you already open your main combo for this deck, so you won't need to search for the Live Twin spell card. So you can actually use this to search for this instead. And I certainly don't like the other trap card the Archetype has, wherever the hell that was, somewhere down here. So if that's the only like actual good option for a search target, I guess you'd probably have to play it. What's the secret password? This is a searcher. We'll go through it in a second though, when we get to it. Yeah, I have to wait and see. Not super keen on it, but as a one of, yeah, sure. Alright, Grid Sweeper. If a face-up field spell is in any field zone, you can spell summon this card from your hand. You can banish this card in your graveyard and 1 link monster you control. Destroy 1 card your opponent controls. You can use the following once per turn. It's kind of funny because we have skills and duel links that give you a field spell. It's honestly not the worst card, but I don't really know what we'd do with it. It's actually not that bad. Necro Valley counter? I think that works as a Necro Valley counter. If you're talking about the destroy part, because you have to banish, right? Necro Valley would stop you doing that. Grid Sweeper, huh? I mean, it's not the worst card, but I don't think we care too much for it. Just because I think you want to play this with a deck that inherently just gives you a field spell or something. I mean, you can play this in, what do you call it? The, oh God, how have I called it? The Salad. You can play this in Salad, right, I guess? That deck likes Cyberse stuff and has a field spell. It banishes link monsters you control is pretty sus. But I think we'll move on from that one. It is a card of all time. Alright, Live Twin Home. Alright, this card is going to be if we get Effect Veiled Smile. Discard 1 card, spell summon key skill monster or leave a monster from your deck. Also, the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you cannot spell summon monsters except evil twin monsters. Alright, so this card is going to be necessary, probably at a high volume, because we've got Effect Veiler in the game now. So you get Effect Veiled, your turn's going to be done with a Live Twin, unless you have a follow-up card like this, which gives you another summon. So you're probably playing 3 each of these ones, and then one of them gets Effect Veiled, you're just going to have to use this card to continue comboing. So you're probably going to have 3 of this in your deck, even if it does seem weird when you've already got 6 starters, because Effect Veiler exists now. You probably get away with playing not as many copies of this though, because you have got Secret Password, so you probably might play Secret Password instead, which means you can play less of this. So, yeah. But you're definitely going to have to play this card in some way in your deck, because this will deal with the Veiler problem. You can use it in the draw phase? True, actually. True, you can draw phase this. That's kind of sick. But yeah, we'll see how what ratios this deck turns out like. I'm assuming you'd probably want to play like more of a 2-to-2 sort of a ratio maybe, because you probably want to have more of a deck thinning thing, since this thing does search this card, right? And the thing does have the option of grabbing the other trap card as well, so yeah, we'll see. This card's definitely good though, definitely good. Alright, Magic Key Mech Mortar. Garrus Glazer. Or Glasser or something. Okay. You can ritual summon this card with magic key, blah blah. Gains 200 attack for each different attribute in your graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When your opponent activates an effect of a monster with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard, if at least 2 attributes of monsters were used for this card's ritual summon, quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. If this card is ritual summoned card, this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can have a magic card from your deck to your hand. Right, okay. A monster negate. But it's a monster negate that requires your opponent to be playing a specific attribute, right? That's not super promising, but at the same time, it's not exactly hard to work out what your opponent's playing in Duel Links. It's the skills and characters and stuff, so you can probably set up for particular things. So I wouldn't call it useless. It's definitely summonable, especially in Duel Links, where I said, like, if you know what your opponent's playing, you probably just set up for it. You basically have every attribute. But on turn 1, do you? Or do you, as you choose what cards you're putting in the graveyard, right? Violate your ritual spell or whatever. Interesting. Alright. This deck seems super convoluted, but we'll see. I'm not super, like... I'm not super keen on a deck that's playing every single goddamn summoning mechanic, but it's got to work in some sense, right? So, and we are only in the rares so far, so monster negate in a rare rarity is a good start, I guess. Does one of the magic key cards change attributes? That'd be pretty sick too. He's a card of all time. Alright, we'll see. Could be good, could be good. Alright, Magic Key Unlocking. When your opponent activates a spell trap card where you control a Magic Key Ritual monster or Magic Key monster, spell or summon from the extra deck, summoned from the extra deck, negate the activation if you destroy that card. Then you can declare one attribute, and if you do that, for the rest of this turn, all face-up monster your opponent controls become that attribute. Ooh. Ooh. That's a really good-looking card. Wait, this card's actually good. Like, really good. It's a counter trap. You can't even respond to it with most things. It's not Nomni. This thing is spell a trap, right? Dump an element saber. Okay, this card seems really good. Really good. We've reached a card that is good in the Archetype. That's a very good start. There was a searcher for this too, right? I thought there was something that searches. Was there a did we go over a magic key that searches it? Oh, this card searches it, right? Yeah, so you could, if you really wanted to, it's just a basic combo. You could ritual summon this thing, search the trap, and you've already got at least one lot of disruption. That's already a good start. We haven't gotten into the actual good cards yet, so. So normally if you have this doing field, true. Okay, yeah, that's a start. That's a start. We're getting somewhere with this archetype. All right, moving on. Fusion monster, Magic Key Dragon, whatever that card's name is. One Magic Key effect monster, one normal monster except a token. When this card is fusion summoned, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. Once per turn, you can target one normal monster or Magic Key monster in your graveyard. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with that attribute. Once per turn, if an opponent's monster with the same attribute as a monster in your graveyard is destroyed by battle or card effect, if this card was fusion summoned using 2 different attributes as material, you can draw 1 card. Okay, so a board nuker. If you're able to make sure your opponent's attributes are all the same, that's a huge board nuke. Counter trap something, activate the dragon, full board nuke right there. Pretty good, and it does draw cards. It only draws 1 card though, it doesn't draw like for each card, right? Now only draws one card. But still, drawing a card's good for a board nuke. We take that. Okay, we're magically it's looking pretty good. We're getting some good cards now. Speaking of good cards, we have a card I'm very excited to play because I've made, how many videos have I made on Paleo on my channel? There's got to be a whole bunch actually. There actually has to be a whole bunch. Where's my dumb channel? So how many Paleo videos have I made? Paleo. Look at them all. I've made so many Paleo videos. Alright, these ones are not, but these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I made 8 Paleo videos? Holy. I love Paleo. It's a fun deck. It's one of those rare trap card decks which I actually kind of enjoy. It's not focused around just being here's a floodgate sort of thing, you know? It actually does cool stuff. And also their removal isn't like negate, negate, negate. It's more of just like flip face down, banish, that kind of thing. So I'm a huge fan of Paleos. Alright, so Paleo, 3 level 2 monsters. This card is unaffected by other monster effects, so already a pretty good start. Once per turn, if a trap card is sent from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can activate the top card to your deck, and if it is a trap card, add it to your hand. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. Once per turn during either player's turn, if this card has a trap card as it sees material, you can detach one material from this card, then target one card on the field and destroy it. So, yeah, pretty cool card. It'll just allow you to have a quick effect pop during your opponent's turn, potentially. Yeah, and if a trap card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate cards as well. So from my experience, though, playing Paleo, this card, it was cool, but it wasn't that summoned that often, because 3 level 2 monsters is generally a little bit more annoying than just summoning the one that can use like trap cards from hand or something. I don't know if we have that Paleo in Duel Links. Probably don't. We don't have any of them yet. But yeah, this card should be pretty cool for the Archetype. Especially considering we do have skills like, we do have like Territory of the Sharks and shit, so we can play level 2s like this, or we can play level 4 Xyzs as well. And this card is water, so it can still be played in that deck. So, should be pretty cool, should be fun. I'm very excited to play Paleo. This will probably be maybe the 3rd video I make for the new box, maybe 4th video. So I've got like, oh my god. I'll bring up the... It's just so many videos, by the way. I've showed this at the start of the stream, but this is how many channels I have in my Discord now for decks to make videos on. Like, bruh. That is so much content. I think the only one I'm probably going to pass on is Ubel. Everything else in here is probably going to get a video at some point. That is so much content. So I don't know when we're going to be doing the Paleo one, but it'll be there at some point. Amongst all that. That is a ridiculous amount of content. Do we have a lot of Paleo cards? Yeah, we have a bunch of them. And we're about to get another Paleo card up here. Spoiler alert. You don't see the Toad? Yeah, no Toad. No Master Toad channel. Feels bad, man. Is this card even level 2? It's not even level 2. What the hell? What kind of a Toad Master is that? Does this mean Rush Duel's gonna be dry for a month? Yes. I mean, technically Rush Duel is getting at least one new skill, so you play Blue Eyes. Alright. Proxy F Magician. 2 effect monsters. So a lot of people in chat were hyping up this card. During your main phase, you can fusion summon fusion monsters from your extra deck using monsters from your field as fusion material. If a fusion monster is fusion summoned to a zone this card points to, you can spell summon one monster with 1000th attack from your hand. Okay, so this thing just gives you a fusion summon without a fusion spell, and you can use it itself as material. Furious. So this card's used to summon the card we were looking at a second ago. The fusion monster, this dude. What am I typing? Furious. This one. It's not a dark dragon, though. So surely there's a fusion monster that's... This thing uses, what was this? This is Clock Wyvern and a Link monster. This is a Link monster, so this thing plus Clock Wyvern can, summon this. It's pretty cool. Like Mud Dragon? Yeah, this card's actually pretty good. I just like the fact that it can use itself as a material, so it's like another way of like potentially making your big link monsters without having to worry about a fusion spell if, let's say, this thing's like, you don't have access to this card anymore, like later in the game. This deck's gonna be super like combo orientated, so it's hard to see like what the actual combos and stuff are gonna be for this deck yet until we've actually seen like all the stuff played with the new skill and stuff, and to see like what your turn ones are going to end up like, when you're going to use this card, if you need this card for your fusion summon on turn 1 or whatever. It'll be interesting to see, but it's all like sort of combo-y, so it's hard to tell so far. But it does sound pretty good, so. Magic-y and invoked? God. Why are we playing this with invoked? Let's not do that. Let's not bring back invoked at all. Oh god. Alright, secret password. Wait, it can't use itself? Can it not use itself as material? It can use itself. Using monsters from your field as material. Yeah, it can. What's the password? Alright. Add 1 Live Twin or Evil Twin spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. That's the main use of the card. The rest of the effect, I believe, was pretty irrelevant. If you control a key skill monster and control a Leela monster, you can add 1 Evil Twin monster from your deck to your hand instead. Oh, yeah, okay. You can use it as a search as well. But you don't really need it for the search, because this thing can search for this thing, which can search for a monster anyway, so... Yes, that's mostly all the thing does. It's mostly just searching for this card, or if you already have this card, you can grab your present if you want it. That's mostly what we're using this thing for. Because I doubt we're playing the other trap card, and the field spell is also kind of rubbish, so... I don't see any other ones up here, so I think these are the only 2 targets you're probably using. Yeah. It's probably gonna be, I'm not sure how I'm gonna build the deck yet, but I'm thinking a 2-of ratios. I think I'm gonna do like a 2-2-1, I think. Because I want to have multiple copies of this so we can use it, because you might need to use it multiple times throughout a game. But I don't want to play a 3 of this when I could have a 2 of this for a deck thin. But I also don't care too much about like having the trap card as an option, so it's probably gonna be a 2. 2-2-1, maybe? I don't know. Hard to see yet. Because this deck's also going to be pretty heavily influenced by the card draw you get from it too, so you're probably going to have to play a lot of back row and effect veilers and stuff, purely because I don't think the Archetype has that much, like its stat lines are super low, so if your opponent does get a monster to stick on the field, it's pretty painful. So we'll have to wait and see what the ratios and stuff are. Definitely going to be a consistent deck though, that's for damn sure. That's definitely for damn sure, because you've got potentially 3 of this, 3 of this, 3 of this, and 3 of this. All are going to be a combo starter, so that's pretty cool. And if you want to see the combo for this deck, by the way, because I think I can actually show it, because somebody is kindly enough has already actually done it in here for us. Here's what the deck does. This is like basically guaranteed to be what the deck's going to be doing turn 1. Very exciting, I know. Here it is. Right. It's a 1-card combo using any of your, whichever one you open, doesn't matter which. Summons 1 from deck. Link summons into the Link 2. Link 2 then can revive from the graveyard. Chain Veiler XD. Alright, use those 2 to go into the other one, which revives the one back from the grave, triggering the effect. Which in this case is a card draw, so you draw a card. Then you can use these 2 to go into the other Link monster, or the same one again. So you have a summon during your opponent's turn to bring back the pop card, to pop a card during your opponent's turn. So you draw a card, and you have a quick effect, summon back, pop during your opponent's turn. Chain Veiler pass. Shut up. I love how both someone in the YouTube chat and the fucking Twitch chats are the same comment. Chain Veiler. It's fine. We've now got... We can summon this card to get around the Veiler, alright? But yeah, that's basically what the deck's going to be doing. The box got leaked? No, it's been announced. It's just, yeah, it's flat out been announced. No leaks needed. Alright, World Legacy World Arc. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a monster. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If a elite monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and target one of those elite monsters, special summon it. Okay. If your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck while this normal summon card is on the field, you can send a monster from your deck to the grave. Okay. You weren't wrong when they weren't getting any better from the other trap cards, eh? Alright, let's not worry about the World Legacy stuff. Jesus. Alright. I don't think, are these Cyberse? Oh, they are Cyberse. The bigger ones are Fiends. That's so. Can't wait to break on Triple Veiler. I mean, at least Veiler isn't once per turn, right? Okay, Magic Key Battle. Target one normal monster, Magic Key monster, or Magic Key Mafia in your graveyard, shuffle into the deck. Then if you activated this card in response to your opponent's card or effect, normal summon a Magic Key monster you control. Wait. Normal monsters or Magic Key monsters you control are unaffected by the opponent's card effect. Ooh, so you can make your cards unaffected. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Making cards unaffected is generally a pretty good effect. Okay. Might be a one-off search target too, I guess. Or you might want to play more of it if you can use this as part of like your combo starters or whatever, just bringing back more resources because it's just an extender. Oh wait, no, it's not an extender. Sorry, it shovels into the deck. What am I saying? I'm stupid. This card is pretty good though. You can make any of your monsters unaffected. Just have this set as back row. Protect your cards from effect Veiler since Lance doesn't work anymore. Oh, is only that card effect.
Card games on
Oh, it's only that card effect. Oh, that's not as cool. Oh, yeah, that's not as cool. Alright, I thought it was a little bit stronger than that. That's definitely not as cool. Alright. Defends you from only one of them. Yeah, I don't like it too much then. It's still not the worst card, but doesn't feel as great. At that point, I think I'd prefer to be playing Lance, but I guess it does protect you from monster effects, I guess. Maybe. You might play it. Alright, Magic Key Fiend Transferal Mine, or whatever that is. Holy shit, that card art. 1 Magic Key Tuner plus 1 non-tuner normal monster. Okay. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. If you control this card that was synchro summoned using at least 2 attributes of monsters, you can set 1 Magic Key Spell and Trap card directly from your deck to your Spell and Trap card zone. Okay, that's pretty sick. You can summon, if you want to summon this on turn 1, you can just set this thing, which is pretty cool. Okay. If your opponent normal spell summons a monster with the same attribute as monster in your graveyard, you can destroy that monster. Oh, that's a sick turn 1 actually. Wait, you can just you summon this turn 1, you grab this card, and you've got potentially 2 disruptions depending on which ones you get in the graveyard. That's actually pretty good. That's actually a really good turn 1. This deck, see, we're only in the rare section, by the way, boys. That's a pretty good start. Is there many Magic Keys up here? It's a field spell or something. It's a field spell. Damn. Is Magic Key going to be a cheap deck? Potentially. Does it have an animation, though? I don't think it has a character that works with it, right? You do need to run a vanilla. That is true. We are playing vanillas. I apologize, I'm sounding dumb right now. Magic Key Battle because opponent used Dark Hole or something? What the opponent's a second copy? Huh? Oh, we're talking about this thing? Are you asking if this thing works on multiple copies of the same card? Because I don't think so. That's what you're asking. No rank 8 yet. We'll see how this magic-y stuff goes. It seems alright so far. Alright. Yeah, what Alpha said. Poor people's deck. Alright, S-Force Lapswell. If this card is special summoned, you can target one S-Force monster in your graveyard except S-Force Lapswell. Special summon it. You can banish one S-Force card from your hand, destroy all of your opponent's monsters the same columns as your S-Force monsters. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be a board nuke for S-Force. So you probably play this at 1 for your going second play. So I assume you can search this quite easily in S-Force if you want to have a going second play. That seems alright. Seems pretty good. That's more of a one-off type thing, right? Alright, S-Force Retroactive. If a monster you control be used as link material for an S-Force monster, this card in your hand can be used as material. Okay, that's pretty sick. During the main phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 2 or high S-Force monster from your hand. If an S-Force monster you control be banished, or banish a card from your hand to activate its effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Okay, a lot of good stuff about this card. It can be used for material, it can be used for discard stuff. Seems like the bitch of the archetype, the basic bitch. The card that gets used as material and used as discard fodder. This poor dude's just getting casted away. Poor card. Poor S-Force. It's the Pink Ranger too. What the hell? That's messed up. Yeah, it's a pretty good card. Alright, moving on. So we've gone through all the normals and rares so far, and not gonna lie, just from the basic stuff, this looks like a pretty exciting box. We haven't even gotten to the cool stuff yet. Paleo's looking good, Magic-Y's looking good. Was that all we got? And the clock stuff seems pretty alright too, so should be pretty good so far. Oh yeah, and of course Live Twin seems pretty good. Alright. So we are getting Altergeist Slip Quit. Why is the first thing that came to mind when I read this Slipknot? Why is that a Altergeist Slipknot? We'll go with that. Quick effect. You can return one other Altergeist card you control to the hand, then target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one Altergeist trap card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. Okay. So from my experience playing this deck, from decades ago, whenever I played it, I used this card quite a bit. Yeah, I use this card quite a bit. Because this is a bounce during your opponent's for your opponent's stuff, and bouncing your own Altergeist stuff generally feels pretty good anyway. It's quite nice having your Altergeist cards back in hand, so yeah, I assume this card's going to be seen quite a lot. It is a quick effect. Yeah, we're getting Multifaker. I didn't actually now that I think about it, I didn't actually cover the level up rewards, so we'll do that afterwards. I don't think I covered the level up rewards. Where are they showing? Are they showing the leaks? They're showing the leaks. Yeah, some level ups here, so we are getting Multifaker. So yeah, this card's pretty good. Having a quick effect bounce for the opponent's turn, on top of all your trap card disruption or whatever else. Pretty good, and you like bouncing your monsters, so I expect this to see some play. Not sure how many copies of this you'll run though. I know the deck likes to swap cards in and out fairly regularly and search for cards, so you probably don't need many copies of it, I imagine. Could be wrong on that, yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a good card. Alright, Clock Wyvern, a card that's going to be used with a skill. If this card's normal special summon, you can halve this card's attack, and if you do, it gets to summon a clock token. So this card plus a token is already going to be a way to get into your fusion monster, right? Because this card, you can use your token to go into a link monster. This card plus a link monster, a Cyberse and a link, is the requirements for this thing. So this card almost by itself is a one card, whatever this is, if you have a fusion, way to fusion summon it, like this dude, for example. Alright. Cyberse Clock Dragon. So this takes Clock Wyvern plus 1 Link Monster. We went through this earlier, but we'll go through it again here. When this card is fusion summoned, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the total link rating of the materials used for this card's fusion summon. And if you do until the end of this until the next turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. Also, this card gains 1,000 attack for each card sent to the graveyard by this effect. So probably would have a bit more stats than just using this card as like a 1 card, but you could use it as a 1 card. 1,000 stat is already pretty decent, so 1,000 extra on 2,500 is already a pretty decent stat line. While you control a link monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target other monsters you control for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control with card effects. If this fusion summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by opponent's card effect, you can add 1 spell card from your deck to your hand. Alright, so yeah, this seems pretty good. This seems pretty good, and it's probably one of the main sort of summons you're going to be doing in your Cyberse deck, along with this thing. This looks like what a lot of the skills are going to be going into. So, it should be alright. You have a good way to kill your opponent with this thing. And it's also not an ultra rare, by the way, so by the looks of things, if you wanted to build this particular deck with the skill, if you already own a lot of Cyberse cards, you're not going to have to invest too deeply, because this thing's, yeah, everything's so SR. So that's kind of cool if you're a free-to-play player. This Cyberse Magician seems interesting. The whole Archetype seems pretty interesting. I'm not super in-depth with Cyberse. I don't play them all that much, so it's kind of hard to see how everything works with the skill too, so I have to wait and see. Alright, this card. Now this card is looks exciting, but then you see it's a limit 3, and it's probably a target you wanted for Neos Fusion, which I think is still limit 3, so a little bit awkward. So it needs Neos plus Ubel. Must be fusion summoned. Before damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the opponent's monster attack. If the face-up card in the field is destroyed or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, while its owner controls it, you can spell summon Neos Wise Man from your hand or deck, ignoring summoning conditions. Okay, summon Neos Wise. What does Neos Wise Man do again? This dude. Cannot be able to summon a set, must be able to summon, blah blah blah. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. At the end of the damage step, this card battled an opponent's monster. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the monster battled. Okay. I mean, it's not the worst card ever, but it's also not particularly great either. Especially considering, like I said, it's limit 3 for Neos Fusion, so it's kind of a bit cringe for that. And all your opponent realistically needs is 2 lots of outs, and it's just sort of gone. Also, I think if you compulse this, it doesn't summon the Wise Man, right? Yeah, I don't think it should be limit 3 either. I think they should let it go. I'm pretty sure the compulse doesn't let you summon the thing, right? If I remember correctly. Shuffling into the extra deck stops the revive, even if it is technically leaving the field. So then you do the same sort of things with like that's why Mirror Jade doesn't go off if you shuffle Mirror Jade into the extra deck. What does the skill do? I don't even remember. I've already forgotten. During the joy, blah blah blah. It makes you normal summon them. It allows you to flip your. It lets you swap out your U-Bells, and it lets you grab your Sewer Polys from deck or something. Nothing too exciting generally, I don't think. Yeah, return to deck can't activate, so I don't think this thing is pretty weak to Compulse and pretty weak to Nightmare Unicorn, which are both very popular cards. Oh yeah, also Crackdown is pretty annoying too, because this thing says if it goes to the graveyard when you control it or something. So there's a lot of not so great things about this card. Not a huge fan. Wait, Neos Fusion doesn't work for this? Why not? Now there's exactly 2 monster material including Elemental Hero Neos. Why wouldn't it? It can only be fusion summoned? Is this not a fusion summon? Oh, it's only a special summon? Oh, this thing ignores summoning conditions. Neos Fusion ignores summoning conditions, so it doesn't care. I think it'd be pretty dumb if this thing didn't work with Neos Fusion. I think it's fine. Anyway, we've spent enough time on this card. I'm going to be honest. I apologize for any Neos fans out there, but I'm probably not making a video on this card or this skill. There is so much content being added. Again, we'll just reiterate the amount of deck lists I have currently got to go through. We've got all these decks to go through. I think Neos is probably going to be the short end of the stick, I think. I don't think I'm making a video on it. So I still apologize for that one. Alright, moving on. Evil Twin Kisakill. 2 monsters including a Kisakill monster. Alright, so these cards are going to be pretty dope. If this card is special summon, you control a Leela monster, you can draw 1 card. During the main phase, if you control a Leela monster, you can special summon 1 Leela monster from your graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Fiend monsters. You can only use each effect once per turn. And this one, same effect, only it just pops a card on the field. So these cards are great in combination with each other, because they just, yeah. This one can summon this one for a card draw, this one can summon this one for a card pop. Very, very good cards. You'll be seeing a lot of these if you see this archetype. Have we actually got any link? I don't think we have a link for that's a Fiend, right? Do we have one? We do not. Oh, there's actually not that many even in the game. Yeah, they could probably actually give us Abomination. I'd be down for that. Fuck it. Toss Abomination in the game. You could use these to go into like a Nightmare Unicorn though if you wanted to, I guess. Is there any good Link 3s? Just Nightmare Unicorn, yeah? Yeah, just Nightmare Unicorn. Isn't the worst, I guess. Your mother's a Link 4. What the... Is it if it's okay if Masquerena got released? I mean, is it worth it? Masquerena would be insane in this game. Any 2 monsters gives you a removal? That's pretty sick. Is the Evil Twin level 8 for the deck? No. I said this at the start of the stream, but this Limit 1 bundle is probably one of the worst Limit 1 bundles I've seen. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I look at this thing and I'm like, we didn't want to play this in Master Duel. We only played it because it was like mandatory because we're playing Trouble Sunny, but Trouble Sunny isn't even in Duel Links, so we didn't even have to run this card. And I don't want to run this card. It's like evenly matched, but it gives your opponent an extra card. It's almost like you don't want to run it, so I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Plus, it takes the Limit 1 slot, I think. Is this card being limited to 1 on release? Might not be. Might just be giving it to us. Either way, I don't like the card, so I'm probably not running it, I imagine. Team us with the new box are probably just going to grab the clock and Cyberse support because it's because to be true, if they knew that they were doing something, Blue Eyes of the must be the most popular day again. That is true. Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, whenever it gets support, does become increasingly popular on the ladder. Alright, so moving on. We have our normal monster for the archetype, Maxx C. The Maxx C Sky Blaster. Everyone is full of possibilities. Everything you do, moving forward, stopping, closing, opening, it's all in your hands. There are many doors in this world. To open them requires the magic key. 2 keys and 1 door. 2 wheels and 1 body. Once the doors are opened, the worlds will be connected and the great power revealed. Wow. Inspirational there, Konami. Absolutely inspirational. To be fair, this guy's got a nice stat line for level 4, 1900. Not the worst. So this dude plus another level 4 of some kind. We do have some tuners down here too, wherever it was. Some tuners. Would make a very nice turn 1 for this deck. So I wonder what the combo will be. Better story than Twilight, true. Solid roast. Alright. World Gears of Theological... What the fuck is that? 3 level 5 or higher monsters. Holy shit, this better be a good effect. Cannot be used as linked material. This linked summon card is unaffected by other monster effects. 3500 attack? Okay. During your main phase, if you control this card that was link summoned using 3 monsters that had different types and attributes on the field, you can destroy all other cards in the field. If your opponent spell summons a monster from the extra deck, you can spell summon one World Legacy monster from your deck. That's pretty good. Was the I just have to check like real quick. Because I've already forgotten. What's it called? The Is that a Gate Guardian summon right there? Is that a turn 1 summon your boy? Turn 1 just fucking slam out your big boy? another use for Gate Guardian. That could be fun. I don't think it's particularly very good because this thing just gets outed by one lot of back row, but it is pretty funny. There might be some deck that can toss this in, some deck that summons a bunch of high level monsters, but it doesn't seem like we're really going to be that interested in it. Main deck Hirotama, boys. Alright, moving on. Magnificent Magic-Key blah blah blah. Cannot be used as material for a Synchro or Exceed summon except for the Synchro summon or Synchro or Exceed summon Magic-Key monster. If you control a Magic-Key monster, you can reveal this card in your hand. You can normal summon Magic-Key monster during your main phase this turn in addition to your normal summon or set. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 4 alarm normal monster or level 4 alarm Magic-Key monster in your graveyard, spell summon in defense position. Okay, was there a way to mill this dude from the deck? So there was something here that lets you send from deck. Or would that require... Oh, you have to control a normal monster for it. Okay. This card is pretty sick, but I'm kind of concerned that of how we get hold of this easily. How are we easily grabbing this guy in the first place? So I didn't see like any innate just like summons from deck or anything. Unexpected. I wasn't not really talking like because there's searches for the stuff in this, but I was more talking like in Archetype, just things like grab it or summon it or something. But it doesn't seem to be really anything that does that. We'll check out the field spell in a second. Maybe the field spell is helps with it. Alright. So we're also getting mind control, cool. Altergeist Kunquery. This card can attack directly. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one card your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. So already, just right off the bat, this thing can hit directly and remove your opponent's stuff. It's really annoying. Alright. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Altergeist monster from your deck to your hand. So this card, you can summon it, hit your opponent directly, it can remove stuff, or you can just use it as link material, or tribute material, or some way to get this thing in the graveyard, and all of a sudden you've got your Multifaker in hand. Or any other Altergeist card you're looking for. So this card's going to be really good. I forget which Altergeist does the tributing. I think it's the one that on normal summon searches the trap, right? It's this one, right? When this card's normal summoned, you can set one Altergeist trap directly from your deck. You can target an Altergeist card you control, an Altergeist monster in your graveyard, send that card in the field to the graveyard, and if you do, spell summon the other monsters. This thing can send this thing to the graveyard. Yeah, no main phase 2 does make this card not as great, but I think just using this thing for link material to search for Altergeist monsters is already pretty sick, so I assume we'll be using this to some extent. You like playing limit 3 traps, you're only playing one of it? We'll see, I have no clue how the ratios are looking in this deck. It's been too long since I played Altergeist to know how this deck's gonna function. Alright, Altergeist Prime Banshee. So we looked at this earlier as part of a skill. So 2 Altergeist monsters. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute 1 other Altergeist monster, special summon 1 Altergeist monster from your deck to your zone this card points to. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 Altergeist card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So this thing, you can use it to summon out other Altergeist stuff from the deck. Things like your this dude here. You can grab your Multifaker. You can grab this guy. You probably wouldn't want to grab this one because it's on normal summon effect, but this guy. There's a lot of Altergeist cards in the game, so yeah, this card should be pretty good. I don't think we're gonna care too much about this thing though on yeah, 2+ because it's a Blink 3, but we don't want to care too much about this thing as like more than like maybe 1 or 2 copies of it. I don't think we need many copies of this, I don't think. So I think our main turn 1 is going to end on the other Altergeist, this thing, the Hexia. And you don't even want to turn the Hexia into this because the Hexia wants something below it, like as an arrow, to tribute to negate stuff, so whilst it's good, I don't think we care too much about it. We don't have to play like 15 copies of this or anything. You don't have to go into the box 3 times for it, I'm saying. It's probably going to be a 2 of or a 1 of. Not super sure though. Alright. Then we have your Abyss Dragon. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 ritual spell or 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. Also, if this card's special summoned, I think I said ritual because I'm dumb. During your end phase, you can add 1 level 8 or higher dragon monster from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard. All level 8 or higher dragon monsters you control gain 1000 attack. You can only use each effect once per turn. You can activate them while Blue Eyes White Dragon is on your field or in your graveyard. So this card's going to be absolutely incredible with the new skill, because the new skill, if you didn't know, which we went through earlier, is this one here, which basically just says if you have a Blue Eyes in your hand, you can send it to the graveyard to place this guy in the graveyard from your deck. This will then search for a Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn can bring this thing back, which can search for a ritual spell from your deck list. Then if you have something like the Melody of the Awakening Dragon or something, you can search for wherever it is, your Chaos Max, which will be a big ass Chaos Max with 4000 attack. You'll have the Abyss on the field still, and yeah, your opponent's going to die. Your opponent is definitely going to die, especially considering if this thing's in the graveyard, like if you use the discard was this card, you discarded this Blue Eyes for the skill, you'd be able to use the attack buff as well during the same turn, so you'd have a 5000 attack, double piercing Chaos Max with this guy on the field as well, so yeah. This will be a pretty solid deck, I imagine, for Ooga Boogering. Doesn't really do a whole lot turn 1 though, which is going to be a bit of a sus thing, but going second, oh boy, we're going to be doing some Ooga Boogering. Alright, speaking of good cards, we have a card that I'm almost tempted to make an entire video about, because I think this card almost marks the end of, like, the end of how, like, people's, when they look at Duel Links, how they, like, look at it compared to, like, TCG or OCG or whatever. This card being added to the game is very scary. It's because it's from Duel Links' history, cards like MST and Cosmic Cyclone have always been quite popular. They probably are still being played quite regularly, I imagine, if we just look up. This normally has the play rate of cards, right? Yeah, 7th most popular spell is Mystical Space Typhoon. I'm assuming Cosmic is pretty similar. And the reason for that is, I can't even bother looking them up. Oh, there is. The reason for that is, second most popular spell card in the game. And the reason those cards are so popular is because Duel Links is all about its back row and its trap cards. The second the game becomes more about hand traps than back row, there's no point running them. So it's probably not going to be at that state yet, because we've only got Effect Veiler, but it's very scary to think about. If the game becomes really heavily reliant on hand traps, back row removal becomes less scarce, then trap cards can be a bit more... You can probably run more trap cards then, because it just becomes, a big clusterfuck. I'm personally not a fan of them adding this card. In fact, I would really like them not to have added it. I don't think Duel Links needs this kind of stuff. I think even with the new decks they're adding, I don't think we needed Effect Veiler in the game. I think the game was fine without it. I really don't like hand traps being needed, unless they're absolutely necessary. But this is 3 draw, 3 crow, 3 Veiler. But to be fair, if we look at just like current tier list standings, it's not that scary based on current tier list. Because like, what does Effect Veiler do against BLS? Like, practically nothing. What does Effect Veiler do versus Rocket? Not that much, because the Rocket can just like target themselves in response if you're doing it that way. I guess you just use it when they use the effect, so I guess they can. Tenyi, their effects used in the graveyard all the time. It's not even that useful there. It's good against Gandora, I guess. Salad, don't care too much. Trickstar, don't care too much. You sort of get the picture. It's not like Effect Veiler is going to be the end all, but it is kind of cringe that they're adding it. I'm not gonna lie. Also, the other thing that's really annoying about Effect Veiler is, despite like the tier list being like, oh, all these cards ignore it, a lot of the older decks in the game are very dependent on things like your normal summon. And Effect Veiler does kind of cock block that a lot, so... Yeah, I don't like this card being added, but to be fair, if it turns out that the meta doesn't care as much about Effect Veiler, maybe people won't run it that much, and then all those old decks are still going to be fine, so... But there'll probably be a meta where this card becomes very popular, I imagine. If not on day one. I went to check at the shop, and if it's a new main vote, I ain't gonna invest in them. I assume this is a main box, right? There's a lot of ultra rares for it to be a mini, so I assume it's a main box. Sage can search it? Sage? Then I have to play Sage. Oh god. Yeah, so I don't know how to feel about this card. I don't think I've even read the effect yet, for people that don't know what this card does. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate the effects of that face-up monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. So just a hand trap negate you can use during your opponent's main phase. Does trap decks benefit from Veiler? Probably, because I assume less back row will be around if this card becomes incredibly popular. It's hard to tell though, because like it's kind of... It's certainly an insane card, but it might be at a state where effect negation just isn't as good as playing generic back row when a lot of the meta stuff doesn't care about it. So I have to wait and see on this card. There will definitely be a meta where it's popular though. If not this one, maybe a future one. So getting 3 copies of this card won't be a bad investment for the future. Alright. See a new Blue Eyes deck on the ladder? Definitely. 100% you'll see people playing Blue Eyes on ladder. It'll start trap power creep? Potentially. That's one thing I am pretty scared of. I don't like the idea that Duel Links moves away from being a back row game and more of a hand trap game. I hate that. Especially considering I don't think Duel Links has ever, like... I don't know about you guys, but when I've played Duel Links, I've never actually felt like I needed hand traps in the game. The only deck I ever felt like I needed hand traps against was Infernity, because that deck had that turn 1, basically FTK sort of a field. Every other deck has sort of felt like, if you have like a Book of Moon, or just a single like negate spell card or something, or even just a deck that just summons like multiple things, you can generally play the game. There's been very few actual metas that I felt like, or maybe I shouldn't say few, there's been like not as many metas where I felt like I can't play going second. Duel Links doesn't have like the going second problem that TCG does or Master Duel does. Where going second is generally weaker than going first. That's not really a thing in this game. It's generally fairly balanced. If anything, it'd be like a 60-40 sort of a ratio, but I don't think it's even like that. It's probably closer to like 50-50, and some decks excel going second, like BLS. So I just don't understand why we need hand traps at all. So this card does scare me a lot. But it might not even be played on day one, because the meta might not be all about effect negation, so... I still think Lance is better in the meta than Vader, probably. So like I said, like if we just go over the tier list, there's not really... Blackluster Soldier doesn't play any, like you negate this? Is that what you're negating? You know, you can negate this? BLS doesn't care at all. Trickstar, you negate their, I guess you can negate their draw too, if you want to. You can stop this searching. Cool. Rocket, I guess it's kind of annoying against. Sort of, not really. Like, there's not, like, in here, there's, like, not many decks that even care about it, so... But, yeah. We'll see. Anyway, moving on. We have your Live Twin Keys to Kill. Each time your opponent's monster declares an attack, gain 500 life points. If this card is normal spell summoned, and you control no other monsters, you can spell summon Leader from your hand or deck. Leader. Your opponent must pay 500 life points to declare an attack. If this card is normal spell summon and you control no other monsters, you can spell summon Keys to Kill from your deck. And vice versa. So, you saw the combo earlier in the stream. You summon this one, it summons this one. You go into your Link 2. Your Link 2 brings back one of them. You go into your other Link 2, and that revives it. And that's how it works. You've seen the combo already. These cards are both one card starters, and you have 2 lots of searches for them. It'll be an incredibly consistent deck list. So yeah, should be good. Alright, Magic Key World. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Magic Key monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so that's the search I was sort of looking for. So we can grab this guy if we need him. The first time each non-token nor monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, it is not destroyed. During your main phase, you can add 1 Magic Key map from your deck to your hand, then place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of the deck. You can use this effect once per turn. Oh, so this is a search for 2, is it? This thing can search for the fusion spell and a monster. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Does Magic Key doesn't have a limit 1, right? So we can play Terraforming? This definitely seems like a Terraforming deck by looking at the power of the field spell. Definitely seems like a Terraforming deck. Should be pretty good. Not sure how, I'm not sure about how fun it is to run a normal monster in your deck list, but if you only realistically have to play like 3 of this and 3 of this, that's still a fairly low ratio, I guess. But with Terraforming, that's 7, so that's probably okay. And if at the bare minimum, you're able to get out this card, this card, somehow get out this dude with the trap, that's already a good enough sort of a start. What attribute is this? Dark? Is there a light? Oh, dark and light, those are the 2 most popular. Look at Discord for replays. We've got a combo here. Hang on, we've got a combo. Hang on, combo. I'll say for 4 cards, we're starting with Advanced Ritual Art. Setting dude, summoning dude, searches the field spell, grabs this via the field spell. This grabs the gun, shuffles 1 back. Dude can summon the card back from graveyard, that can go into the synchro if you wanted to. Okay, going to ritual summon using the monster on field and a card from deck. Okay, that's pretty sick for monster negate. And those 2 become the synchro, right? And the synchro grabs the trap card. Okay, that's a pretty solid field. And how many attributes we got? Dark, 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 and light. Not too many attributes though. But this thing does change the attributes, right? And this thing changes the attributes. Okay. There you go. There's a cool little combo. Thank you for that. Marco, I think it was in the one. I've lost my chat. There's my chat. So not bad, not bad. 2 card plus 2 fodder. Oh, one was a shuffle back. What was the other one? Was it 2 fodder? There's only 1 fodder, right? It's only shuffled back once. I need all the other stuff. Either way. Where are we? What's the tier list at the moment in regards to attributes?
Card games on motorcycles!
BLS is all like, what, light? I actually don't even know. I think BLS is light. Oh, is it Earth? Might be Earth. Yeah, it's Earth. BLS is Earth. Has some light in it. This one's dark. Infotrack is Earth. 10 years light and dark and fucking everything. Mostly dark though. DD's got some dark stuff in it, I think. Yeah, it's kind of, or mostly light and dark, and then occasionally some Earth by the looks of things. Alright. So final card in the box. A card I'm also very excited for, because like I said earlier in the stream, I'm a huge fan of Paleo. Absolutely love Paleo. Dream's cool, thank you. A huge fan of Paleo. Paleo Dinomischus. Target 1 face-up card in the field, discard 1 card. If you do, banish it. So it's basically a karma card for Paleo. Once per turn, when a trap card is activated whilst in the graveyard, you can summon it back as a 1200 status monster, and it's going to be immune to, is it monster effects? Yeah, this card's unaffected by monster effects. So it's a karma card that can revive itself as a trap card, or as a monster, sorry, that is immune to monster effects. So this card becomes absolutely crazy if you're a fan of playing Paleos. Because, yeah, it's going to be some level 2s. You can use your territory of the sharks with this thing, make level exceeds rank 4s and all that kind of cool stuff. All the cool stuff you do with Paleo. And you can even play this as just a trap card in any deck you like. If you like just playing, if you're already playing Karma Cut, you'd swap it out for this card now. This card's just better than Karma Cut. No reason to play it. Play Karma Cut over this. It's a cool card. Or some cool things you can do, because this thing's a discard. It will discard like other Paleos. So many other trap cards, that's more Paleos to summon. Oh yeah, level up rewards. Alright, so we'll give, before we go to level up rewards, we'll give you a brief overview of the box so far, or just of the box. My thoughts are, this box is incredibly content packed. Like, there is so much in here, and from just first glance, other than the Neo stuff, nothing looks bad. Like, everything looks playable, which is great, because that means lots of videos. We can play this proxy stuff, although some Cyberse stuff, although I don't really know how it's going to function, because I haven't really played that much or looked at the skill too much. So I assume it looks pretty playable, though. The Altergeist stuff looks very playable. The Blue Eyes stuff looks very playable. The this looks like just your new generic play a bunch of Backcrow with a fucking 1-card combo style deck. Looks very playable. Magic Key looks pretty goddamn playable too. So everything looks really fun and playable, which is great. I am hoping that the Cyberse stuff is good, because that means we have another sort of free-to-play-ish deck if you already own a lot of Cyberse stuff. So a lot of free-to-play players will be happy, because obviously the Live Twin players aren't going to be very happy having to buy three lots of this and 3 lots of this. That's not going to feel very good. This was my wallet. XD. And there's Vela, which is probably pretty cringe. Alright. So, level up rewards. This one, right? Alright, so level ups. So we're not sure which one of these or how many amounts we're going to be getting of all these, but we'll start from the back here. Pazulol. Pendulum effects. Once per turn, you can target 1 card in your other pendulum zone. This card, pendulum scale, becomes the level of that pendulum monster until the end of this turn. Also, you cannot spell some monsters except pendulum monsters. Pendulum summons of your monsters cannot be negated. Wow, very cool. Moving on. CXC's Coach Lord Ultimate Trainer. These might not be level ups, by the way. This could come from, like, anywhere. But we assume these ones are level ups, at least. The Altergeist. 4 level 9 monsters. This card cannot be targeted by a card effect. If this card has an Xyz monster as material, it gains this effect. Once per turn, you can attach material from this card, draw one card, and reveal it. Then, if it was a monster, inflict 800 damage to your opponent. Wow. 3,800, it cannot be targeted by card effects? That's pretty crazy. Alright. Then we have your Nightmare Incarnation Italy. Fairy effect monster, level 9. Monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If the total link remaining of monsters on the field is 8 or more, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned while your opponent controls more linked monsters than you do, you can send all linked monsters on the field to the graveyard. Okay. Kinda cool, I guess. Got info on the new card? Huh? Oh, the one... Okay, I'll look at that afterwards. Thank you. He went to rush to like crying now? Maybe. Alright, so on to the Altergeist cards. Altergeist, Fidget, blah, 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 blah. When an Altergeist Link monster is link summoned to your field, while this card's in your hand, you can target one other Link monster on the field, special summon this card to your zone that monster points to. Also, that target is also treated as an Altergeist monster. You only use each effect once per turn. Yeah, I don't think we used this ever in TCG or Master or whatever, and I don't think it looks that great for, This thing needs a Link monster on the field, another Link monster on the field, then you can summon it. Which sounds awfully bad, so, I don't think we're playing this card. Not a fan. Altergeist Fail Over. If another card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, except during the damage step, you can special summon one Altergeist monster from your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Altergeist monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Use effects once per turn. I think I prefer the other Altergeist monster reborn than this, right? So I don't think we care too much about this one. The other Altergeist monster reborn is probably going to be better than this. Alright, best card in the archetype, Multifaker. If you activate a trap card except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can summon one Altergeist monster from your deck in defense position. You cannot special summon monster the turn you activate this effect, except Altergeist monsters. Yes, this card is going to be crazy good. This thing is really good in combination with the trap card that searches for it, because that actually activates the effect of this, I believe. So actually, that's not how that works, is it? You know, this thing, you flip it face up, you search for this, and that does activate it, right? I think that's how that works. Just swapping over cards, I don't know. And that summons this thing to the field. And it's rumored we're getting 2 copies of this, because the character in-game, their deck lists, when you get to choose to verse them, has 2 copies of this already. So it's likely we're getting 2 of this, which is pretty cool to see. It's pretty funny that when Master released, this thing was limited to 1. And when we get it in Duel Links, we're going to get it at 2 copies most likely. That's pretty amusing to me, but anyway. Yeah, so this card's going to be pretty good. Then we have your Kunquery. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, if you control an Altergeist card, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate the attack. If this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate the effects of that card while this card is face-up on the field. This card is also hella annoying, and we're 100% playing this at least 1 copy, because this card is really annoying. Your opponent tries to swing over one of your cards, you just go, nope, I don't think so. Summon this thing, that thing gets an attack negated, and it's just has its effects negated too. So if your opponent only has like 1 big boss monster, they're gonna really struggle versus this deck. Yeah, it's like Kiteroid. Yeah, Altergeist, I'm pretty sure we meta relevant just on day 1, just because we've got like the entire archetype, almost. He's like 1 or 2 cards missing. We're missing the negate trap, of course, which would 100% make the deck meta relevant, but without it, I think it'll still be playable. So I'm excited to see how it looks on day 1, but it does look pretty goddamn good. It does mean I'm going to have to farm the new character though, which is kind of annoying, because the new character has a really annoying deck at the gate, so I had to see on that one. Alright, so that's all that stuff. And one final thing is somebody wanted me to check out the new card that's been leaked in Master Duel. That's coming to Master Duel. Konami's announced a new selection pack, Record of the Noble Spirits, which will be released on October 30th. Okay. Which is going to contain this thing. A card that isn't even released IRL yet. It's going to be released in OCG, right? Prisoner, Princess of Fruitful Flames. Link 3 Fire Fiend Effect Monster. Left, bottom, middle. Okay. 2 effect monsters. You can use the second and the third effects of this card's name each once per turn. You cannot spell summon monsters except fire monsters. During your main phase, you can spell summon a fire monster from your graveyard. Okay. If a monster is spell summoned to your opponent's field while this card's in your graveyard, you can target one fire monster control and one monster your opponent controls, destroy them, and if you do spell summon this card. Well, so you meant to link climb with this and have it in your graveyard as removal? So you summon this thing, it summons a fire monster from the graveyard, you go into a link 4? That's kind of cool, actually. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this might see some play. Not sure what fire decks we're playing it in. Rescue Ace kind of going burr. Salad, yeah, it's salad support. That's pretty sick. This is a pretty decent salad support, actually. Not bad. Yeah, this would be really cool. I might make a salad video on this because I've ordered the salad cards or Rescue Ace, but Rescue Ace is a. I don't like playing Rescue Ace too much at the moment, but you could play it. This card's not in the TCG, but it is, I assume, coming to the OCG at the same time. At least there's already sleeves for it in the OCG. Oh yeah, it released in the OCG on the October 28th, so we're getting it 2 days after the OCG and before the TCG, which is pretty cool. And that's not the only stuff in this pack. This is the only cards that's been announced for it, so that's pretty cool. Alright. So that is probably going to conclude the stream though, chat. So, if you enjoyed this stream, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow, whichever platform you're on. If you want to see me play with all these new cards, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, of course. If you're not already subscribed, that'd be fantastic. I'd appreciate that. Raid? Do I even have any viewers on Twitch? I haven't even looked. Where are we at? Do I have enough to raid? There's 42 people watching? Shit. Damn. Not a dead channel. That's pretty sick. Alright, who's live in the Duel Links category? Does anyone play Duel Links anymore? More Twitch streams? Every time I stream, I'll be co-streaming now, so yeah. -1. I've never raided that guy. That's a... How do I even... Oh god, how do you even raid? Do I just do /raid? It's been so long since I've used Twitch. Oh, it's just been so long since I've used Twitch. I just do /raid. Does that work? Hey, that's his chat. Where's my chat? There you go. Go watch -1. I assume that'll work. There you go. He's talking about the box too, so you can learn all about the new box from him as well, and he's pretty good at the game, so... Thank you all for tuning in. Hope to see you in later streams, and yeah. Thank you all for watching. Laters, boys.